Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another video, another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright, so first and foremost, Kal Halayam, La Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'asham Akaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwatium. Alright, so this video here, this lesson here, it's entitled The Days of War is at Hand. World War 3. Alright, the days of war is at hand. World War 3. So, this is the thing that we see in here with the ones who are the spiritual eyes to see, the things that is brewing up, pursuing to wars and rumors of wars, because these are the things that, Yahweh Shai told us to look out for, pursuing to, we got that one time, I think I will start with that. Matthew 24 and verse 3. Alright, Matthew 24 and verse 3. It reads, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and at the end of the world? Alright, and pursuant to 2nd Ezra 9, and one way it speaks about measure the time diligently within itself, for us to know, well, what time we at right now, what time we living at right now, pursuant to end times, That's why the scripture specifically instructed us, to be occupied in prophecy. Alright, this is where it is. Verse 4, And Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. This is the point here. Alright, this is the point here. Alright, the days of war is at hand. Alright, because there's a lot of wars, a lot of proxy wars and what have you that is brewing up. It's getting more and more hot, so to speak, so to say, around the world. Alright, you're seeing what's taking place in Africa, on the west coast of Africa. Alright. Also on the east coast with the civil war with Sudan, alright, where you have the military split into two warring factions warring against each other. Alright, then you have the war with the Ethiopians and those of the Tigray, alright. And then throughout all the Middle East, so-called Middle East, a lot of things brewing up, a lot of things taking place, You had the war in Ukraine, and the list goes on and on and on, alright? So as the scripture say, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, alright? And these things is coming to pass, but we still not at the end. Despite we seeing the wars and hearing of rumors of wars, seeing sides being taken, alliances being brokered and whatnot, so forth, it's still not the end yet, because we still have what? The MOTB to go and whatnot, so forth, we still have Jacob's trouble and all these things, but these are the signs to look out for, knowing that, how close we are at, to the end, Here's what it is, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Alright, this is what it is here now. And this is what we see in, being waged heavily upon the face of the earth. Alright, we see in what? They're coming back with the mandates and whatnot, because a new development is being taken place with, the sea hip, not the sea hip, not the, you all know what I'm talking about, the sickness that was taking plague over the world for the past 3 years, earthquakes taking place all over the place, and there's what we are, there's where we are right now. This is how close we are at right now. This is where we are at right now. Alright. But the thing that we're looking forward to right now, in pursuant to the prophecies, the last 2 main prophecies, to usher in the coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, alright, is what? The prophecy of the MOTB and World War III, alright, and as I said, alliances is being brokered, sides is being taken, you have now where by January the 1st, of 2024, you have new members that is going to align themselves with the BRICS nations, such as Argentina, Iran, United Arab Emirates, okay, and Saudi Arabia. I think that's just the 4 there. I can't remember if there is any more, that has been, that has joined the BRICS, but as far as I know for sure, Argentina, Iran, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, alright, and there's a long list of nations that is pending, nation that is on the waiting list to join, and all this that is taking place is not really as the elder, I forgot his name, over in GMS Dallas, where he was saying, this is not really this is not really for monetary gains or anything like that, Really and truly, this is all about war. Alright, now they would use monetary, how I will put it, they would use these deals that is being brokered and whatnot, and use money as a surface towards towards their true agenda, in the sense of trying to de-dollarize the world and whatnot, so forth, get the world off of that chokehold, off of that that leash that the world has been entangled by, by the petrodollar, by the US dollar. Alright? But really and truly, these nations are mainly gathering for war. Alright? Because with all the talk about, when you really look at it, with all the talk about the dollarization and free market and this and that and the other and the other and the other and the other and the other, what is the main thing you're actually seeing taking place amongst these same BRIC nations? What is the main thing that you're really actually seeing taking place? Alright? the main thing that you really had to look for, you know, is these weapons deals and all these things that has taken place. All right, and a while back, I think it was maybe last year or year before, I had done a video. It may be up on this same channel, but I know for sure I had put it up on the Lawgiver channel. All right. I just slip my mind a bit, but you come back to me concerning what I call this thing. Oh gosh, it slipped my mind again, and boy, the word for this thing. Arms race, yes, arms race. All right, and you're seeing what is taking place now, you know, where nations are stocking up and deals are being brokered, you know, where nations are selling the highly sophisticated, you know, armaments and whatnot, so forth, between each other and what have you. You see Russia that just supplied North Korea with some advanced ICBM missiles and whatnot that cannot be detected. All right, that could reach from North Korea to mainland US. All right, and not be detected and what have you, so forth, you know. And this is the things that we have been speaking about, you know, from the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, the bishops, you know, a great millstone, all the way downwards to the younger brothers as myself, you know. These are the things that we have been speaking about over the years, you know. Because this is what it is coming to, because this is the word of the Most High. Alright, this is the word of the Most High, and His word is not going to fall null and void. Alright, so this is Joel 3:9. It reads, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Alright? Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Alright? Now, this is the thing here. Alright? Because the nation that was looking weak towards Babylon the Great, alright, these nations are now being armed, you know, with the best of weapons, you know, the best of military weapons and what have you, so forth. These nations are using their GDP to spend exuberant sums of money, you know, to arm themselves. All for what? All for the purpose of World War III. To what? To bring down the US. Alright? Because for far too long, you know, the US has been ruling the world with an iron fist. You know, the world has been under has been between the jaws, you know, the jaws of America, you know, with sanctions and military interventions and embargoes and all this stuff, you know. And it's reached the point now where these nations are literally sick and tired. They are fed up. So you have now where the nations are banding together and coming under the umbrella of Russia. All right. So that what? They could have some sort of protection. All right. And some sort of, not only protection, but how could I put it? I'm trying to get the word, but you know it didn't come into my head, you know. But not just that Russia is being that God unto them, but Russia is being that great help, you know, for the lack of better words. All right, Russia is being that great help unto them, you know. That support, you know, that advanced military support, you know, in order for them, to go to war against Babylon the Great, which is America, and to bring her to naught. As the scripture is saying, because this here is the will of the Most High. Alright? This here is the will of the Most High. Alright? Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let the heathen be weakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Alright? It's mainly for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to judge all the heathen, but the main purpose, the chief purpose is what? Is to get America off of that pedestal that they have been sitting on for far too long. Alright? And pushing forth her wickedness through the four corners of the earth, and being that bully. Alright? This is what we see in taking place right here. Alright? That's why when you go to 2nd Esdras, to tie that with Joel, they take a look at 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, and I think it's verse 20. Alright, here 2nd Esdras 15 and verse 20, it reads, Behold, saith the Lord, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done unto them. Who is them? The children of Israel. Alright, this is the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also and recompense in their bosom, say the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And this is mainly coming for America. All the nations is going to feel it. All the nations is going to take part and is going to feel that hurt. But the ones who is going to mainly feel the hurt, the one who is going to feel the brunt end of that hurt is America. Alright? Because they are the ones that that really spoiled Israel. They are the ones that really did all those atrocities and whatnot unto Israel, and the Lord, He has His agenda. Alright? Now, then but and it's all directed towards Esau, the so-called white man. This is what it is all about. This is what World War III is all about. Alright, World War III is all about getting rid of America and getting rid of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. This is what it is. Alright, this is what it is. And the Lord, He has a way of his strategic measures and putting things in place, to accomplish His will, This is what it is. Alright? This is what it is. This is why it is good to fear the Lord. Alright? This is why it is good to serve Him to the best of your ability. Alright? This is why it's good to be an Israelite. Yeah? Yeah. Alright? Because this is what the Most High has in store. Alright? He has the whole world, not just Esau, Edom, but the whole world in a trick bag. Alright? He has the whole world in a trick bag. Then you have these small huts, alright, these Amalekites and whatnot, so forth, They have a very integral part to play in this up and coming World War III. Alright, an integral part to play in this up and coming World War III, that is going to lead to the destruction of Babylon. That is going to lead to the destruction of Esau, Edom. Alright. These Amalekites Alright, these people there in the Holy Land who are the chief tribe of Esau, you know, they are the ones that are stirring up a whole lot of stuff, alright, that is bringing the world onto the brink of just all-out war, all-out turmoil, nuclear war. Alright, there's what it is. Now, to prove that, and we'll have a little clip here to play, taking a chance here to play this clip, you know. But I'm going to play this clip here, and he's going to filter it out through the scriptures. And he's going to see that, because this clip is what? 22 years old, 22, 23 years old. Alright, but we're seeing the words actually being manifest right now before our eyes. 23 years old later, yeah, 23 years old. Alright, we're seeing it is being manifested in our eyes, you know, 23 years later. Alright, there's what it is. So, without further ado, bear with me.
Working with Israel to oppress the people of the planet. Israel loves it. That Nazi Sharon has invaded the West Bank. They're slaughtering innocent people. And I'm sick of worshiping Israel. Did you know back in the 1960s they bombed the USS Liberty knowing it was one of our ships? Because it caught the radio chatter of them killing thousands of Palestinian children during that invasion. And they torpedoed it as they begged for hours on the radio. And LBJ sat there in 63 and let them do it. That's in this Baltimore Sun story. I don't support the Palestinians either. They're all hyped up and psychotic. But Israel's going to get us nuked, always backing them up like this.
All right. This was we all just looking like the day, as you can see the date here, the timestamp. This looking like a day after. You can see the smoke on the background and whatnot. This looking like just a day after 9/11. All right, and you know, I can see the reason why he is saying this and whatnot, so forth. Why he is making such comment, because as I watch the timestamp there, all right, the date stamps, you know. And what he is saying is actually true, because it is written in the scriptures. All right, these Amalekites, all what they are doing, all right, and the trouble they are stirring up over there in the east, all right, it is going to drive it to the point where that is going to be the author of finishing for America. Yeah. That is what it is. That is what it is. Yeah? You heard what he said? Let's go back a little bit.
But Israel's going to get us nuked, always backing them up like this.
Oh gosh. You really had to laugh. All right? What the scripture say? Let's see what the scripture have to say concerning this. Let's take a look at Jeremiah. I will come right back to this. Yeah, let's take a look at Jeremiah. Now I have two I could go to, but I think I will start with Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah chapter 49 and 20. All right, Jeremiah chapter 49 and 20. What the Lord said. Yeah, what the Lord said. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Edom and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Alright? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who is the least of the flock? These Amalekites, that is in the Holy Land there. Those Israelis. Alright, they are the head tribe of Esau, but they are the least. Alright? And they are going to be the ones that is going to draw out America into World War III. That is going to be the author of their finishing. You can't go wrong. You can't get better than that. Yeah? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. With them. Alright? Because the Lord is going to deal with that landmass, the Holy Land, just as how he is going to deal with America. But the only difference between the Holy Land and America is that the Holy Land is going to be built back up, but America is going to remain a desolate desert forever and ever and ever. Yeah? Verse 21, the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. Yeah? The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, which is what? Thermal nuclear missiles that is going to be dropping on America and upon Israel. It's going to move the earth to and fro like a drunkard. Alright? At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Yeah? The noise was heard there, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea, because World War III is going to kick off. It's going to kick right off in the Middle East. You understand? It's going to kick off into the Middle East, and it is going to come onto the shores of America. Because America is going to be invaded. Alright, verse 22. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Bosra, which is America. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. Now, again, this video was what? By that particular individual, I don't want to call his name, but that video was 23 years back. And what he is saying in that video, you actually seen it taking place to this day. And not only that it has taken place to this day, when I go further into the video, let's go further into the video. Bear with me. I only hope it continue to play and let's start over. Alright, so let's see.
Like this.
Right.
Israel calls the Palestinians goyim or cattle or dogs or subhuman. They keep them on concentration camps. I got video of them taking Palestinian women's tomatoes they grow and breaking their water containers and stealing. That's why you have this crap. And our children are going to die. We're going to get nuked because of this. Iran's got the nukes now.
Right? Yeah, what you say? And this is prophecy. Now, at the time, Iran didn't have the nukes. Back at that time, they didn't have the nukes. It was rumored, you know, but they didn't have the nukes. But what they have now, all right, especially after Trump had get rid of, I forget the name of that deal that they had. All right, that Obama had brokered that deal with them when Obama was in power. But Trump, what he did, he got rid of that deal, all right, where the Iranians was to stop enrichment of uranium, all right, it was to stop enrichment of uranium and whatnot, and America would have left the sanctions and these things and whatnot, so forth. But Trump, he get rid of that deal. all right, and put back the sanctions. So now you have the point where now the Iranians, they are enriching uranium. Now they reach the point of what, 60 to 70% of enriching uranium, which is basically weapons grade. All right, and now because they want to go, I think they're at 60, and they want to at least they want to reach at least 80 to 90% enrichment of uranium. Because the thing you have to watch too now, Iran, they also have some highly sophisticated ballistic missiles, you know, that is capable of carrying nuclear warheads. All right, and the scriptures, the scripture speaks about Persia, you know, Gog and Magog and Persia and Ethiopia. Ethiopia was another nation that joined onto the BRICS. And Noah was missing another nation, Ethiopia. Tawada Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. So now, the scriptures is literally lining up before your face, before your very eyes. This is why, you know, just to stray a little bit. You Egyptologists could never, ever stand up to us, man. Because why? There is no prophecies concerning World War III, the MOTB, and these things in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or for any other philosophy at that. This is why the Bible stands alone. None shall want her mate. You cannot mate the Bible with any of these other philosophical books, because it will not mesh. Because there is nothing that is compatible within any of these books towards the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. All right? You hear what he said? They are going to get us nuked. And yes, you are correct. Because the landmass that you are sitting on, that stolen land that you are sitting on, it is known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon. All right? The mother of all harlots. All right? This is what it is. This is what it is. Let's continue a bit.
Syria. We're going to have nuclear war because Israel likes to go around bombing everybody. I'm sorry, it's just the facts.
It's just the facts. It's just the facts. It is just the facts. All right? And they are going to go, believe you me, they are going to, when you see, because the first thing that play field before World War III is the MOTB. And when that come into play, and what have you, all right, these Amalekites, they are going to stir up the hornet's nest by going out against Iran. That's how they're going to draw them out through the spirit. That's how I see it. Now, I'm just speaking as a man, you know, but when you take a look at things closely and, you know, you analyze and what have you, all right, you analyze the scriptures, your prophecies and what have you, you know, This way you see it, because they wouldn't go die. They wouldn't go they wouldn't jump out on Russia just so. All right, but it's long time they've been picking and probing and choking and, you know, harassing Iran. All right, going into Iran, the Mossad going into Iran and assassinating certain high-ranking scientists, Iranian scientists and what have you, so forth, you know. the killing of the killing of the Iranian general. I forgot his name. And they haven't forgot that. They haven't forgot that. You know, the killing of that general. Qasem Soleimani was his name, yes? Qasem Soleimani, Tawada Yahweh Shinyan Shai. Alright, they haven't, all these things, you know. They are going to be the ones to really draw the least, they are the least of the flock that is going to draw them out. Draw out America, and in turn draw out NATO. Alright, and then what? Russia would have to get in. You know, the rest of the BRICS nation, Iran, India, South Africa, Ethiopia, it's coming right into play. It's falling right before your eyes, man. The man say what? They're going to get us nuked. This is Jeremiah 50:1. Jeremiah 50:1, it reads, a matter of fact, let me go to 51 first, then I will go to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. What is that destroying wind? Those nuclear missiles. And I will send unto Babylon fanners, they shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Alright? This is what is coming to America. Verse 3, and him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, alright, which is speaking about those missiles, those thermonuclear missiles, all those that are thermonuclear missile armed, that are nuclear armed, alright, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host, all her army. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they, which is America, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Yasharahla, Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. What the Lord said, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. This is for what? For the elect. This message here is for the elect. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will not run, he will render unto her a recompense. Alright? And America will be stiffly recompensed. Alright? They will be stiffly recompensed. Behold, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunk. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Alright? Because, they force all the ideologies and all the agendas and whatnot upon the nations, upon the world. Alright? And it's only so much that the people could take. Alright? Look, take for instance over in Ghana, Ghana are threatening Babylon that if you decide to put sanctions and whatnot upon us for our anti-happy people legislation that we are putting up here, we are going to destroy your businesses that you have here in Ghana. Alright? The masses are fed up. The masses are sick and fed up. Alright? The world is sick and fed up of the so-called white man. Let's put it that way. Not just America, but the so-called white man on the whole. The world is fed up, man. Alright? Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Alright? There's where it is. Alright? Yahweh had remembered her iniquities. Alright? And her iniquities have overflowed. It is overflowing. Alright, so there is nothing else but what? But judgment. Okay, there's what it is. Verse 10, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness, come, and it has declared in Zion the works of the Lord our power. Make bright the arrows, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, which is who? Russia. For his device is against Babylon, which is America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard of upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen, which is what? These military men. All right, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. All right, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord had both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest, and this is to show you that it is speaking about America. Verse 13 here confirming it. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, which goes back to Revelation 17 and verse 1. Revelation 17 and verse 1. Revelations 17 and 16. All right, I think 16 or 15. All right, for the Lord hath both devised and done that which he done. No, Salakia. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. Who else this can be speaking about? None other than America, none other than the so-called white man, none other than these elites. All right, these elites, these banking families that is running the world. You understand what I'm saying? This is what it is here. Yeah, this is what it is here. Yeah, go to Jeremiah. Now I want to go to Jeremiah 50 and 1. The word that the Lord Yahweh Shai spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish and set up a standard. All right? And this is what we're doing. All right? We are publishing and conceal not. We're not concealing, we're not hiding. You know, the word of the Lord, we're not hiding the judgment, the measures that Yahweh had measured Babylon towards judgment. All right? Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Yeah, that's why the Lord said in Isaiah 47, stand now with thine enchantment, since thou art labored from since thy youth. Let's see if that is going to help you. Let's see if that is going to be able to relieve you, you know, of all the judgment that has befallen upon you. All right, all your witchcraft and all these things, that you have been using and put that covering cast, that blanket over the eyes of the nations, over the eyes of the world, your funny money system and all these things. All right, your oppressing trade systems, all these things that you enforce upon the people by the way of your witchcraft. You put your witchcraft on these measures, so that it can be for your benefit. You will be able to prosper, and the nations will be able to rise up against you. Just by the nations, just by what you're seeing taking place now, with these nations joining BRICS and all these nations that is in line to join BRICS. That alone should, and the military agreements, not just trade agreements and what have you, but military agreements and what have you that is being made, that alone should show you, that alone should put it in you elites, that alone should show you that, hey, your witchcraft and all these things, you know, it wavering. It wavering and it withering. Alright? Verse 3. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, which is who? Russia. And none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart both man and beast. Let's go down to verse 8. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he-goats before the flock. Yeah? For what? For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. Just as what the individual there was speaking. I can't call his name. Alright? But you all know who it is there. Alright? An assembly of great nations. And what we see in here, because what he was saying was 20 years back, 23 years back. And we are seeing it here now, being manifested before our eyes. An assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows, which is what? The thermal nuclear missiles, shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Alright? I just spoke about what? North Korea receiving a complement of missiles from Russia, advanced missiles from Russia, alright, that cannot be detected by any missile defense system, alright, and it has the capability to reach all the way into mainland America. Then Russia themselves, they had the Satan too, and what have you, so forth. And then you have Iran with the hypersonic ballistic missiles that is nuclear capable, that could carry, you know, nuclear warheads. And the Iranians, they are working steadfast in enriching their uranium to weapons grade. All right. Let me tell you something. There is no turning back, especially with Iran. Especially with Iran, there is no turning back in them now. Especially where Trump had scratched that deal and what have you, so forth. All right. There is no turning back. Iran is going to go forward, and I'm going to say something. And I'm going to either do a video on it. And I'm going to say something here. You see that situation in Niger, and not only in Niger, but throughout the whole of West Africa, that has been influenced by these puppet governments that have been set up by the West. Let me tell you something. What you're seeing taking place now, because the latest now is Gabon. Just last night I taken in the news. The latest now is Gabon, where their leader has been deposed by the military. All right. What you're seeing taking place is the same game, the same dose of medicine that the West was doing to Russia within North Africa, because Russia, the whole of North Africa was Russian influence at a point in time. But that has been diminished by the West during the so-called Arab Spring uprising. All right? The last Russian influenced nation to fall at the hands of the West was Libya. All right, they tried to topple the Assad regime, all right, in Syria, but it's still standing strong because That is the last within the Arab world, you know, where Russia has base, a military base and whatnot, a naval base and whatnot, so forth, so forth, so forth. But here the thing, the same thing that the West, NATO and America and what that was doing against Russia in the north is the same game that Russia is doing in the west of Africa. And they are making steady gains because they are the whole of West Africa is waking up to the wickedness of the West. Now going back to Niger. Niger now is being Russian, they're coming under the influence of Russia. Niger, they are rich in uranium, a major component, a major ingredient for your nuclear missiles, whatnot, so forth. Now let me tell you something. You see how Russia having the way now with to have the way with uranium, with Niger? Best believe Russia, Iran, Russia themselves also, all right, and all these other BRICS nations, especially Iran, North Korea, China. These nations are going to have absolute control and access, free access, good access. I won't say free, but if you know where I'm coming from. But they're going to have good access to those uranium mines in order to stockpile, mass stockpile of nuclear weapons. Watch on it. Mark my words. Mark my words. They're going to have mass stockpile by the way of the uranium mines in Niger. All right? Which is going to fulfill the prophecy of America being destroyed. Watch how they're going to see something. Yeah? Verse 10. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass and bellow as bull. The Lord set them up. Lord make them fat. He make them wax fat with riches. Your mother, which is what? England, shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. This is what is going to be the outcome of America. A dry desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited. Babylon is not going to, and this is showing that it's speaking about America. Because ancient Babylon, which is what? Modern day Iraq, it is inhabited to this day. Yeah? Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Here, which goes into Revelation 18, all they that stand afar off, saying, alas, alas, for that great city, that great nation, that great place, Babylon. Yeah, for in 1 hour. That's roughly paraphrasing. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Yeah? Shout against her round about, she hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sword from Babylon and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For the fear of the oppressing sword shall be turned, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. This is what it is. This is what is coming to America. Alright? Because this is the purpose of the Lord, because this is what the Lord is doing. He is doing it. He is bringing these leaders towards it. All right? This is Proverbs 21:1. What? To prove it. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. This is what the Lord is. The Lord is controlling the minds of these leaders, these so-called world leaders, all right, to be in a state of war, to be in a mind state, a readiness of war. This is what it is. All right? The nation that was weak, the nations that was weak, they are no longer weak anymore. All right? And they are going to bring judgment upon America. All right? So what that shows you, this is Jeremiah, back to Jeremiah 50 and verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Yeah? America do not have that might that it once had. Because they are no longer the only nuclear armed nation. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou was not aware, thou art found and also called, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and brought forth the weapons of his indignation. All right? What is his armory? Those missile silos. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. This is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You understand? This is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let's go back.
And Israel absolutely is beside itself with joy right now. They are talking about how they're going to blow everything up, how they're going to attack everybody, and guess who's going to get bombed because of it? I have been supportive of Israel for many years. When I found out what they do, shooting little Palestinian children in the genitalia and laughing, it's on video. Little 10-year-olds walk around throwing rocks at tanks. The guy sits off a half mile away and blows their testicles off. They call them goyim. They call them dogs. They call the Arabs cattle. And then the corrupt Arab governments that are in league with this government, it's really a sick Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos, bringing the world crises, bringing them terrorism, so we'll accept a highly...
This is what it's going to bring. This is what it is going to bring. Let's take a look at 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 15. Going back to 2nd Esdras 15. But this time, 2nd Esdras 15 and 28. Yeah? 2nd Esdras 15, 28. Because he's seeing it. Alright? He is seeing it. But hey, and that's a heathen. Hey, you jakes are with no excuse when they see the Lord bring his judgment. Alright, you jakes are going to be held with no excuse. You jakes are going to be held accountable, man. There is 2nd Esdras 15, 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried. All right, and the dragons of Arabia is speaking about Saudi Arabia. All right, and the multitude of them shall be as the wind upon the earth, and they shall be, and they all, Salakia, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmenians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right? And the Carmenians are who? The Iranians. All right? The Carmenians are the Iranians. You understand what I'm saying? The Armenians are the Iranians, and they're all going to come out. They're all going to join me because they are sick and fed up of these Amalekites. Alright, and they keep on doing these Palestinians wickedness, they keep on doing these Arabs wickedness, alright, they keep on doing these Persians wickedness. There's only so much they could take. So what is going to see? Let's go to Jeremiah, go back to Jeremiah 50, 45. Jeremiah 50, 45. Alright, what it says. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. At the noise of Babylon the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations, man. This is what is coming. This is what is coming. Alright? The days of war is at hand. The days of war is at hand. Alright, they are going to draw out these Amalekites. They are going to do until the keg that keg of powder just decide to just explode. And is what is just all out war. And what is going to lead with, what is going to do, what it is going to end up bringing it to upon America is not only going to be the BRICS nations coming up to waste America. Let's take a look at Revelation. I will come back to that second as just. Let's take a look at Revelation. Revelation 17 and I think 16, Yeah. Revelation 17, 16, it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, alright, which is the EU and NATO, these shall hate the whore, which is America, because America is going to, when these nations see what the whole when these nations see what they have been drawn into, and they come to the total realization that, hey, this is our end here right now. America has literally brought us to our end here right now. You know what? Here, what? To hell with everything and just destroy this bitch under. This is what it is. Alright? These shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Alright? And burn her with fire. Because the Lord said what? Obadiah 1 and I think it's 6, Obadiah 1, 6. Alright? Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things stored up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee had deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Alright? Alright? All these nations that you are allied with and whatnot, so for this, they have deceived, they all for your destruction. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him. Alright? They're gonna see to your demise. Alright? And who is going to help? Who's going to play a big part in it? These people there over in the Holy Land, those small hearts, those Amalekites. They are going to play a big part. Yeah? They are going to play a big part in it. You understand? Because why? It's all the Lord's purpose. It's all the Lord's will, you know. It's all the Lord's will. Let me see, I think it was the outreach. Let me see. It was actually, right? So going back to 2nd Ezra 15 but 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them, Then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians, which is America, because America is likened unto Assyria also, all right, shall the enemy besiege them, all right, because, hey, it's going to come, World War III is going to come all the way into the land of America. Don't feel, hey, America is going to be invaded. You all think this thing is a game? All right, America is going to be invaded. America is going to be invaded. America is going to be plundered. All right? And consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Yeah. Yeah? All these governors and politicians and whatnot, they're gonna be quaking in the boots, man. They're gonna be quaking in the boots. All right? There is what it is. Because for far too long, the Lord not playing. 2nd Ezra 16:1, woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Yeah, woe unto thee, America and Asia. All right? Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack, and here bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? All right? A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? All right? Because what the Lord do, pursuant to Isaiah, take a look at that quick. Isaiah 54 and 12 is 12? No, 16, Isaiah 54 and 16, where the Lord say what? Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, all right, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy, which is what? The scientists, all right? These scientists and them, all right? All for what? To make that mighty sword, that mighty arrow, all right? So back to the 2nd Ezra 16 and 3. All right, when the Lord says, sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? If fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Yeah, who will quench that thermonuclear fire that is coming upon America and coming upon the land of Israel? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in the stubble when it hath begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? If fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. Why the earth quaketh? Because of what? The thermonuclear missiles. The earth is going to rock to and fro like a drunkard, man. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to when they begin to shoot at the ends of the world. So this showing you what? This is proving that this is the missiles. Those arrows is symbolic for the missiles, because there is no archer in the world who shoots who do archery professionally could shoot a arrow from North Korea all the way to America. That's impossible. Yeah, that's impossible. So that just only proves that this is speaking about what? The thermonuclear missiles. And the individual, the guy there, that Edomite, he is 100 million, a matter of fact, 200 million% correct. You know why I said 200,000,000%? Let me show you the reason why I said 200,000,000%. Revelation 9. Revelation 9, I think I will start from 15 or 16. No, let me see something. From 14 actually, Revelation 9 and 14. Revelation 9 and 14, and saying to the sixth angel that had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Alright? For the four angels are loose, which are prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year to slay the third part of men. The third part of men that is speaking about is Esau. Esau is the third part of men. Alright? Because Esau was the third beast, which was the what? The Alexander the Great, and you know, Esau was the third beast through Alexander the Great. Alright, that leopard. Alright, they were the third beast in the dream of Daniel. Alright, so they are hence they come the third part of men. Alright? From Alexander to now is where Esau had gotten their rulership. There was only hindered just for 1,000 years, but they come back. Alright, during the Renaissance period. Alright, the devil shall be let loose a little season. Alright, Esau is that third part of men. Alright, and the number of the army of the horsemen who were 200,000. Yeah, 200,000. When I check that up, that is 200 million. That is why I'm said that individual is 200,000,000% correct. Because it is going to be 200 million thermonuclear missile that is going to fall on America to do the destruction that the Lord wants to do upon America, to utterly waste it, to turn it into a desolate land. The Lord is going to overkill America. That's why I said, that's the reason why I said, with this situation in Niger and the West being kicked out of Niger, and Niger being rich in uranium, the Iranians, the Russians, the Chinese, on all these BRICS nations, that is because out of the BRIC nation that you have now, 3 out of the 5, the first 5, which was 3 out of the first 5, they are nuclear armed, which is China, India, Russia. All right. Then you have now Iran coming in on the scene. All right, Iran going to make it 4. All right, because they are enriching their uranium to weapons grade right now. All right. Then you're going to have other nations looking to access, coming into BRICS, going to looking to access weapons, nuclear weapons. And take what I'm telling you, these nations, they're going to have full access to these uranium mines in order for them to stockpile. Arms race. Yeah. Verse 17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. This is John the Revelator describing the missiles to the best of his ability. Alright, the way how he could have explained it. By these was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. Yeah, for their power is in their mouth, which is what? The warheads, and in their tails, all right, which is the re-entry vehicles that, because the missiles had to go out of Earth's atmosphere and then come back in, and then come back in with the re-entry vehicles to power them to come with full force back into Earth's atmosphere to do its work, to do its destruction. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had their heads, and with them they do hurt. Yeah, and with them they do hurt. This is what it is. This is what it is. Yeah? Revelation 16, and I think this is the last scripture that I will come out with. Alright? Revelation 6, not 16. Revelation 6. Revelation 6 and 12. Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fall upon the earth, which is the nuclear missiles, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, which is what the nuclear, that is the mushroom clouds from the missiles, and every mountain and island will move out of their places, yeah? Every mountain and island will move out of their places, yeah? So you proud Trinidadian, Jamaican, Haitian, all of you all here in the islands here, yeah? Boy. And this is for me also. Stick with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Stick with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Yeah, who looking to see the running into the church, and into the bunkers, and this and that and the other. And said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? America is going to be destroyed. Bottom line. Bottom line. Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Aquatium. Hey, the days of war is at hand. ww3. Simple as that. Shalom. Wa bad babol.